were talking earlier. What do you think is like issues that we have as Latinos in the industry or in the movie music industry or what have you?
Yeah, man. Some biggest issues that I face personally is a lot of typecasting, where I constantly, because they saw me I think it has to do with two things. Because of my last name, you know, Elijah Rodriguez, they see my name, and then casting directors obviously want to take me in for a Latino role because I'm Latino. But I think they also saw me play this gangster role, so they'd rather go the safe route instead of challenging me as an actor and giving me a shot to try something different. They'd rather go with this, like they saw me play this gangster, these couple gangsters, and they might have thought I did a good job, and so they'd rather just hire me again and again for their gangster roles. But a lot of roles I go for are like gangsters or like racist, kind of like they're gardeners, or they're more focused on being Latino instead of being human. Because what I'm trying to bring, at least in my work, I'm trying to show that even though we're Latino, like we're all the same. Like color doesn't mean anything. Like we all go through shit. We all experience life. We all lose people. We all experience hardship. Like it doesn't affect, our color doesn't affect anything.
Well, one thing I've noticed in the movie industry especially is they always talk about equal. We have, I think we're like 17% of the population, but most of the movies nowadays, you hardly see any real Latinos in there.
Yeah, though we actually get some white people to play Latinos half of the time.
Pretty much.
So it's weird, but I'm trying to break that stereotype, and every role I do, I try to bring something extra to the table where it might be a gangster, but there's a humanity, you know, there's like a soft side to him, or like, you know, not like a soft, but like he clearly cares about, like for Sicario, everything he did was for his sisters, you know, and it's for, like, he truly loved his family, but my character just didn't know where to start because, you know, he has a cousin who's involved in that life and he wants to be like him, and then at home, he's just tired of seeing the same, he sees his father working the same dead-end job, leading to nowhere. And that's another thing where I feel like a couple, you know, Latinos and color and brown people and black and just other races, we do have a couple of disadvantages. And even though it's America, we all have the same shot, but I definitely feel like there's certain stigmas on our people and our race and certain just bad images that can affect us or can just like ruin our image even though we haven't done anything ourselves, you know?
Right. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about the RAZA, the community is for actors, the actors themselves? Is it small, big?
I mean, I think it's pretty big. It's getting bigger because I have a couple friends who are Latinos and they're making their way in and they're pushing their way in and they're doing roles. Like one of my other friends just did Dora. She's Dora.
Very cool.
So Isabella Moner, and we did Sicario together. And I think she's finally pushing through, and then she did Transformers. So she's still doing Latino roles, but she's doing roles that are more focused on being just a regular teenager instead of being Latino, you know?
Right.
And that's what it should be. Like, I'm Latino, and I mean, shit, I'm kind of whitewashed, you know? Like,
we're
we're Americans, exactly. Like, not every Latino, like, I don't know, it's just like, I feel like a lot of movies have portrayed us a certain way, and we're not all the same, you know? Like,
who's an actor that you would just love to work with?
Man, an actor I'd love to work with, so Johnny Depp, and Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and yeah, it's amazing. Who else? I got to work with Benicio. That was one of my biggest inspirations.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, it was amazing. I learned so much just working with him. Isabella, I got to learn a lot working with her. One of my biggest role models in the industry and in life is my friend David Castañeda, who I did Sicario, and then we did We Die Young. He played my cousin in the first one, and then he played my boss in the second one, who I worked for. But every movie, like, we live in literally, like, they send us out to nowhere. Like, we're both from LA, but so we're the only people we know. So New Mexico, we were like the only ones really talking. And then he teaches me a lot though, like acting wise and just life. Like, he's like an older brother to me, you know? Let me see. I met Eva Longoria, and she's beautiful. I met. Have you guys seen Cheech and Chong? I met Chong.
That's right.
So he introduced me to his wife and his daughter, and it was amazing. It was freaking awesome, you know. Like,
to get you high?
he was already high, so we were on the red carpet, so like I couldn't, you know. But it was fun, man. It was a blessing. It's a blessing. My job, my opportunity. I get to travel the world. I get to meet these amazing people, and you know, I'm from a small town, so I didn't think I'd be doing any of this. You know, I'm out here in LA, literally, I'm living my dreams.
That's right.
And not everyone gets to say that, so that's pretty cool.
Got any advice for any kids trying to break into this?
Yeah, man, keep at it, and like, just don't let anyone tell you what you can or can't do, and only you know what works for you. And if you really want something, keep going at it to your last breath until you got nothing left.
Have you gone and seen your own movie in the movie theater?
Yeah, I have, and with some friends.
Which movie was that?
I saw We Die Young in theaters. I saw it with a couple friends.
Did people recognize you when you walked out?
Yeah, actually, but they were just pointing fingers, and I feel like they were too shy to say anything, but it was pretty cool. And then I saw Sicario as well with a couple friends. I mainly do it to go with friends, but I try to go undercover and wear a hat and stuff, because it's just nice to see I like to see people's reactions to the movie, and like hearing the gasps and like just the stutters and like how they react to it, and it's pretty cool. And but yeah, I like to see the movie I like to see it as a fan too, instead of I try to step out of it and see it more, because I know everything they did on it.
Right.
So I'm trying to, because me myself, I'm a huge fan of movies. Like, I love movies. I love going to movie theaters. So I definitely try to separate myself as much from a piece of work after, to see like if it's good or not, you know.
So for all the young ladies out there, how's your love life nowadays, brother?
Man, I'm just having fun, enjoying it, you know. I'm not settling down anything right now. I'm just enjoying it.
Recognized a lot?
Yeah, I do. I get recognized a lot by Latino people, and it's really cool. And mainly Latinos, and here in Burbank.
That's
and
right.
Sometimes they'll follow me a little weird, because I'm not used to it, and I'll forget myself. Like, they'll just be like, "Wait, weren't you in a movie?" I was like, "Oh yeah," and so it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just like I like talking to them and just figuring out like who they are and what they like seeing from me. And
how about if you Uber or Lyft somewhere? Do they recognize you?
So, oh yeah, sometimes in an Uber, or yeah, and they'll ask me like what I've been or what I've done, and then, or sometimes they're too shy, and they'll like I was at a Pollo Loco the other week, like a month ago, the one down the street, and some Asian guy goes up to me. Oh, he was staring at me. So it's weird though, because sometimes like I'm paranoid half the time, because people will be staring at me, and I don't know if if they recognize me, or they're trying to like beef it or something, you know, like, so I don't know, I'm always paranoid. But yeah, this Asian guy was staring at me while I was ordering my food, and then after like 10 minutes, he finally goes up to me and he's like, "You're that guy in that one movie." And then I asked him what movie, and he's trying to remember, but I finally said it. I named like 3 of them, and then he's like, "All right, this one," and I was like, and then he's like, "Yeah, that one."
Yep.
So it's pretty cool.
So how proud is your mom nowadays, brother?
She's my biggest fan, my #1 supporter, and she loves everything I'm doing. She's the one that constantly pushes me to like just keep pushing forward, you know, because it can get very tiring acting in the industry, just constantly hearing no, like, and no, like, it might not even be, another tip for actors is like, it might not even be, you could give the best performance out there, and you could be everything, like, you could have done everything right, you could have studied, you could have given your best shot, and they still won't pick you. And it just might be like you weren't the certain image they had in mind, or you just weren't the right height, or you weren't the right body build. So it's like, it can get to you, you know, but you just got to keep going, and you can't let the no's get to you. But
is it sometimes like city work? It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Pretty much. And I feel like, yeah, definitely. I feel like it's like 50% luck. 50% skill and 50% connections, because definitely who you know in the industry helps. And after you start doing more and more work, and you work with these directors and these actors, and they remember you. You think they don't, but they definitely do. And if you're a pain in the ass to work with, they're gonna remember that, and it might affect you in the long run with other roles. But if you're a nice person and you're easy to work with and you help with everyone, then I think that they remember that also, and they could consider you for another project in the future.